Hey guys, Susie here, and today I'm going to be reviewing A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. And for those of you who don't know what this book is, it is the third book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is right here on my shelf, which is spectacular. It's high fantasy. Everyone should read it, so that's basically all I have to say to that, about that. But this book came out the Tuesday before last, so on May 2nd, it came out, and I got it along with about 10 other books, because I was at Barnes & Noble and I had money, and I thought, why not? Yeah, so it's by Sarah J. Maas, and I love all of her books so much, and I was so happy when this one came out, and I read it in the span of a day and a half, which may have been a mistake because there was a lot of emotion in a very short span of time, but it was good. It was very, very good. So I'm just gonna be mostly sharing my thoughts about this book, but I'm gonna go ahead and warn you guys that I'm gonna probably be flipping to pages, trying to show you stuff, and I tend to write in my books like a lot. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah. Like there would be random phrases that I liked, or just, I would make comments in the margins. Whoops. And then I also was marking places to talk about for this, and I also had to do a project with this book. Well, we got to choose the book, but I, of course, chose this one. And so I had to mark places where I was going to be with it. So yeah, so I mark in my book. I draw on them sometimes too, but not this one. I'll probably make a video about me defacing books at some point in the future, probably this summer when school's over, because then I have a lot of free time, and I'll get so bored where I'll just make a video, because at this point, I've had school, and when I didn't have school, I had stuff to do, and then when I had nothing, I was enjoying nothing. But once the summer, I'll have nothing to do for most of my time, so I'll probably just film videos. And maybe I can get to an actual regular upload schedule where, we don't have 5 months without uploading anything, because I think we've done that before. Sorry, you guys. But, yes. So, this book. Oh, I'm just gonna jump in. By the way, this video is going to be very spoilery, because, yeah, I'm talking about the book. But, yeah, so this book, it may have caused me to cry several times, especially the ending. Oh my. I guess I'm just gonna start in the beginning and kind of share my thoughts on the stuff that happened. I'm just gonna flip through the pages, looking at the stuff I marked. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, so, okay, it just starts with Feyre in the Supreme Court, and from the moment it started, I was just like, oh, this isn't gonna end well. And then I just loved all the moments with Feyre and Lucien, and I think at some point Feyre says something about how she wants to hate Lucien, but she's having a really hard time doing it, and I just kind of said out loud, and I don't remember where I was somewhere in public, and I was reading, and I just kind of said out loud, yeah, that's how I felt this entire book. And everyone who was with me, they just kind of turned around and stared at me like, what? You were reading? Why are you talking now? And I just kind of started laughing a little maniacally and turned back to the book, because books. But yeah, so Feyre and Lucien, their relationship, I love it. Like, I love their friendship so much, and I was so happy when Lucien came with her to Night Court, because the entire time I was like, yes, Lucien and Feyre are best friends. This should happen. And then, like, when his brothers attacked them while they were in Winter Court, oh, it hurt. And then Cassian and Az landing on the ice with them, and then just Cassian taking out Eris. I loved that so much. And then Feyre being like, stop. And then Az and Cassian were listening to her because she was the High Lady. I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved everything about this book. Well, except the ending, but I'll get to that eventually. So yeah, and then when they got to the night court, when they got back to Valeris, first when they were talking to Moore and Vera just run at each other and hug, and just keep hugging. I found that so great because I'd missed Moore so much because I love Moore. She's probably my favorite of the inner circle besides Feyre and Rhys, because I mean she's Moore. Just really love her. Yeah. So when they're back at Valeris and Lucian's standing there and he just looks around and then says, "There are children laughing in the streets." I just loved that moment so much. I'm gonna say that a lot during this review. I'm just gonna warn you guys. I'm just gonna say that a lot. So yeah. Yeah, I found that moment so beautiful because it's just like, you thought. Yeah. But yeah, and then Feyre and Rhys, of course, them reuniting. I love that so much. And then when Feyre is talking to Cassian at one point after they went and saw Nesta, or maybe it was before they went and saw Nesta, I can't remember. But Feyre thinks. She doesn't say it out loud. No, she says the first part, and then says the last part in her head. Oh, it's on page 174. Hold up. It's my favorite quote of the entire book, probably, just because I think it's hilarious. Okay, the quote is, "It was like everything she was, that fire and steel. It became magnified, cataclysmic. Like looking at a house cat and suddenly finding a panther standing there instead." Okay, I take it back. The entire thing Feyre said. But she was trying to Casey about Nesta, and I love that. And out in the margins, you'd see, I just wrote the word cataclysmic, because that's just a fun word, and it was actually funny, because it's not a commonly used word. Like, I don't usually come across that in the books I read, and it's twice in this one. Like, it is used twice, along with the word odious. And so I was reading, and I noticed that they were both in there twice, and they're not common words. And so I was just like, in my head I was kind of like, well, someone learned a new word between writing books. Just because I just found it amusing. Like, when people learn a new word, they want to use it. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I love that quote, just because my mind is all over this place right now. I'm sorry, I was trying to be organized before this and go in the order of what happened, but that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. But yeah, and then, so Nesta and Cassian, I just love that so much. And I think on the same page, the next page, Feyre asks Cassian something about why. Nope, I skipped the page. My bad. She asked him why does he bother, and Cassian just looks at her before they go inside and says, "Because I can't stay away." And I just ship Cassian with Nesta so much. Like, oh my god, they're so adorable. But I don't want them to be mates, because that's supposed to be a really rare thing, and I feel like it's happened. Like, there's Feyre and Rhys, and then there's there's Lucian and Elaine, but there's another one I'm trying to think of. I don't think it wasn't a main character. I think it was a side character. Maybe. I could be wrong. Whoops. But yeah, I just feel like there have been, like, for a super rare thing, there have been too many mating bonds. Well, not too many, but, like, another one, that'd be too many. So yeah, I don't want them to be mates, but I want them to be together, because, oh, they're adorable. Yeah, and then Lucian and Elaine, I kind of don't ship it. Like, I kind of ship it because I want Lucian to be happy, but I also kind of ship Elaine with Azrael, because, oh, they're so cute together. Like, all the moments when Az would walk Elaine to the garden and just sit with her, I found it so adorable. And then when he handed her Truth Teller, like, before the final battle, I started crying then, because it was just such a powerful moment, and I thought it was so beautiful, and I loved it so much. Oh, I love everything about this book so much. Yeah. And then, oh, okay, so the moment that killed me the most in this book, though, in all honesty, was the Sariel's death, which I laugh about afterwards because 19 pages is all the Sariel is on. It's only in 19 pages out of the 3 books of the entire trilogy. And its death was still written so beautifully that it made me cry at the end. Because Feyre, oh, hold up. I have this one marked. I definitely have this one marked. Because I was marking all the pages in the 3 books where the Sariel was in it. Sorry, I'm just looking at the book, guys. My bad. Ah! There's Amren. That's, I don't know where the marker is. Oh, that one ripped off. Okay. My bad. But yeah. No, because, like, first, its dying wish is for Feyre to leave this world a better place than how you found it. And I love that so much. And then as it's dying, Feyre thinks, and as its chest rose and stopped altogether, as its breath escaped in one last sigh, I understood why the Sariel had come to help me again and again. Not just for kindness, but because it was a dreamer, and it was the heart of a dreamer that had ceased beating inside that monstrous chest. That line killed me, because that line was just, it's so beautifully written, and it hurt, because, in the second book, that was Feyre feeling like she was the monster. And oh, it was so beautiful. Oh my god, okay, but, this whole book was beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, the part I found funniest in this entire book, though, was when they were at the meeting with all the High Lords, which I loved to begin with. Like, that entire thing was great. But when Baron is, calls Feyre human filth, Rhys just knocks him back into the chair he was standing in front of, and then disintegrates the chair so Baron just falls to the ground. And I found that moment so hilarious. Like, I understand that it was supposed to be really intense and, like, just tense in general. But I just found it hilarious and totally deserved, by the way. Though the one problem I have with that meeting is it made me kind of not hate Eris, which I don't like. I want to hate him, but now I'm questioning the things I know about him after this book, which I mean, I know I was supposed to. That was the point of him in this book, just to make us question the things we know about him, and I feel like there's going to be more on that in the books to come. But I wanted to just hate him, and now I can't. And the same with Tamlin. I wanted to just hate him, but after the ending, which I still haven't talked about yet, I wanted to hate him, but I can't now. And, like, I don't know. In Jurian, I spent the whole, first half of the book hating him, and then, he turns out to be their ally. At least I can hate the King of Hibern. Well, I mean, he's dead now, so that's pretty much useless. Great. But now I want to go back and reread the first 2 books to see, the things I missed with Jurian, and I actually don't want to reread the first one because I don't want to deal with Tamlin. I was trying to reread parts of it before filming this, and I had to stop because it was making me hate Tamlin less. So I went back and reread parts of The Court of Mist and Fury, and I was like, nope, I still don't like him. We're good. But yeah. So I guess, well, okay. Before I talk about the ending, there's another thing I want to mention. So my favorite, my favorite kind of side thing, not necessarily scene, was just all the casual mentions of same-sex couples in this book. Like there is Nefel and her wife. I don't think I'm saying her name right. And then there was Helion, who, you know, in just Reese just casually mentioned enjoys both the company of men and women. And then Thessian, who's also a High Lord, and his lover is male. And then just more being gay. I loved that so much when she was telling Feyre about that. And then I was rereading part of Akka War, and I realized Amren knew. Amren totally knew. Because it was after Feyre had her fight with Moore, and she yelled at her about taunting Az for so long, and telling her to just tell him how she felt. And Amren tells Feyre, if I can find the part, I think I can quote it anyway, but I'm not completely confident. So I'm just gonna keep talking as I casually flip to the page. Okay. Yeah, and Amren tells Feyre afterward, be careful of how you push her. There's some truths that even Morrigan has not herself faced. And I was just like, Amren, totally knew what Moore is feeling. And it makes me wonder, because, you know, it mentioned that I think, yeah, it was in the second book that Moore and Amren had once gotten into a fight that destroyed Reese's favorite cabin retreat, and makes me wonder what that was about. And I was like, were they fighting about that? Because I feel like that's a thing that could have happened. But yeah, like, I loved that about this book, just all the little side mentions, and it just being casual. It was great. It just made me really happy. Because you don't get that in a lot of books, and it makes me sad, but it's here, and that was great. It was pretty great. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the ending now. So I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending. And not even because it was sad, like, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not fine with it because it hurts, but, like, Empire of Storms, that ending, I hate it, but I love it. But the ending of this book, I don't know, it just kind of let me down. Like, the very ending, right before the ending, was pretty great. Like, Amren coming out and showing who she, and being her in her true form, that moment in my mind, it's so beautiful. And I want to draw it, but I can't, because I'm not, like, I can draw sometimes, but, like, not what I envisioned when reading that moment. It was so beautiful. But yeah, and then so that, and then the cauldron breaking, and Reese dying, and even Reese coming back to life, up at that point, I thought was great. But then Amren came back, and I love Amren. I'm happy she's alive, but I feel like she should have stayed dead. I don't know, it didn't feel right. Like, it felt kind of forced. Like, And then the part after that, where they're all just back in Valeris, I don't know, it just felt like it ended too neatly. Like, yeah, Briaxis is still out there, going wild, and Feyre has to go get it back. I don't know. I think of Briaxis as a her, but everyone I've talked to refers to Briaxis as a he. So I don't know. But, that's another thing. Let's talk about Briaxis before I bring up what I was about to bring up. Okay, so Briaxis, I think, is so great because, it's like, to see Feyre from the two ravens that are trying to capture her and Nesta, you know, all at once, is just for Feyre to agree to have someone come and talk to it. And I just think that is great. Because, yeah, it might be a creature made out of people's worst nightmares, but it's lonely. And I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Because I imagine it doesn't get much company down there. But But yeah, and then also to agree to fight in the war, all it wanted, a skylight. It wanted to see the stars. It wanted to be able to tell about life, and I just think that's so beautiful that a creature even that dark and monstrous is still light on the inside. It still wants to know about life and see the sky, and I just think that is beautiful. Yeah, and also the bone carver, like the one thing to make him for him to fight in the war with him is to give him this mirror that anyone who's ever looked into it has gone mad or just died from, and I just think that's great. And then Feyre goes and gets it and brings it back, and I'm not gonna say with no trouble because that definitely emotionally harmed her, I guess. I don't know how to phrase it, but I don't know, I just loved it. And then she just gives it the mirror, and the bone carver is just like, cool, I'll fight for you now. You proved you're worthy. And then Feyre thinks in her head, wouldn't the lives of, something about how wouldn't the lives of the thousands of innocent people be worthy? Be a just cause? But I just found that hilarious. Again, another moment I know is supposed to be really intense, but I found it really amusing. Whoops. Yeah, okay, so what I was about to talk about before I got distracted by Bryaxis, was Rhys died, okay? There you go. Rhys died. Is that focus? Yeah, maybe not. Okay. Rhys was dead. And you know what page that was? Can you read that? Yeah. Page 666. Let me just say, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. That, I feel like that was very purposeful. And I kind of died. Rhys died, I died with him a little bit. And then when he came back, I was kind of okay. I was still kind of dead on the inside. I was in the car with my brother, and he started trying to talk to me. I don't even remember what he was trying to talk to me about. He asked me a question or something, and I responded, and he looked at me and he was like, you sound dead. And I was like, I am dead, so it's fine. But yeah, and then all the High Lord, Feyre yelling at the other High Lords to bring him back, and they being like, it's not the same, but she keeps yelling at them, and they finally step forward and do it, and then she finally gets the power out of her to give it to him, and then Tamlin coming up finally, after everyone else has given part of their power to bring him back, looking her in the eyes, and saying, be happy, Feyre, and then reviving Rhys. That is the reason I cannot bring myself to hate him anymore, because I feel like he is finally moved on. Well, not moved on. I think he still loves Feyre, and it still hurts to see her with Rhys, but I don't think he's gonna be as rude as he had been. I don't know. Yeah, he was still pretty aloof at the meeting, but he wasn't outwardly aggressive, so I'm calling it progress. But yeah, and then that final meeting, I completely forgot about until just this moment. I haven't reread it at all, but I remember enjoying it when I read it. Yeah, and then Vasa. I kind of, I really enjoyed her. I found her funny. The Firebird Queen. It's great, and I can't wait in the later books to see what she's gonna do, because I feel like there's definitely more to the story there. And I want to know about this Death Lord. The one who's keeping her captured. I think that's what they called him, a Death Lord. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't have anything marked back here, so I'm not going to read all of this right now just to find it. But yeah, no, I think it called him something like a Death Lord. I think I remember reading that and being like, what? What's that mean? And then the Weaver and the Bone Carver, their brother is trapped somewhere on the continent, and he's a death god, so I'm just like, is he the Death Lord? I don't know. I hadn't really thought about this till right now. So whoops. But yeah, I'm wondering when we're gonna see her curse break. But yeah, so that was pretty much my thoughts on ACOWAR. Like, I'm sure there are things I'll think of later and wish I had put into this video, but I didn't. So, oh well. Okay, I'm gonna set this over here. Okay, but yeah, so that book, I loved it. I loved it so much, except for the very ending. I still think Aaron should have stayed dead. Like, it just ended too nicely. Oh well. But I am excited for the books to come, and I know they're not going to be a Feyre's point of view, because this was the last book of her story. But I think, okay, so my theories for the future books is I think one of them is going to be Amren, because I feel like that's the only thing I can think of as to why she would have brought Amren back, because she's never been shy of killing off loved characters, which you guys would know if you've read the Throne of Glass series. Because, yeah, she's killed 3 loved characters in the first 4 books. The first 4 counting the Assassin's Blade, not Queen of Shadows. But that's a different video. But yeah, so she's never been shy of killing off beloved characters, so I don't know why she brought Amren back. So the only reason I think of is that we're going to see more of Amren's storyline in the book, in one of the books to come at least. And I really hope that it's not just future Amren, but also like past Amren, and just story, and we'll find out where she came from, what she is. Because yeah, we discovered what she is. Like, we saw her in her true form, but I want to know more about it. And oh, that reminds me of another theory. Okay, I'm just gonna get this out of the way before I move on to what I was about to say. So Amren, her true form is this big fire beast thing, but she bound herself to a mortal body, and she's from another realm. Well, okay, so Throne of... no, I'm gonna make a different video about that at some point this summer. I'm gonna make a Throne of Glass, a Core Thorns Roses crossover video, okay? Because I don't want to spoil Throne of Glass for anyone who hasn't read it yet, so I'll just wait on that. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, so Amren, I think there's going to be another book for her. And then I think there's supposed to be 3 books after A Court of Wings of Ruin. So I think one's definitely going to be Amren. I hope one is more just, coming into who she truly is and accepting that, and then just going with it. And everyone else just going with it, and then that'll be great. And then I also really want more from Lucian's point of view. Though I kind of... if I had to pick 3 characters to have books from the point of view, I would have Amren, I would have more, and then, I don't know, I want a Lucian, but I also really want an Eris's point of view. Because I want to know more about him. Like, I'm questioning everything I know about him at this point, and it's kind of scaring me, because I want to hate him, but I kind of don't hate him, and I feel like I should for what he did to Moore, but I just can't bring myself to. So yeah, and then I want a Lucian, because I want just to be in his mind the moment he realizes that Helion is his father. That was another thing I loved. Like, yes, Helion being with the Lady of the Autumn Court, and then like Lucian being his son, his sole heir. I just want to see Lucian the moment like Helion dies and all of his power goes to Lucian, because I just think that moment would be incredible. Like, I want Lucian, to know that Helion's his father before Helion dies, because I want Lucian to get to know who his actual dad is, and to know that he's not the son of Baron. But I also really want to see Lucian, like, just doing a casual thing, and then suddenly having a ton of power where he doesn't know where it came from. Just because I think that would be a really amusing thing. But, yeah, and then I want Eris because I want to know more, because he was super vague. He was just super vague about how Moira didn't know the whole story. None of them knew the whole story, and I just want to know more about it. But, yeah. So, I also really want a book from Amren. No, I already said Amren. Sorry. I really want a book from the point of view of Azrael or Cassian. But, I mean, I kind of want, not as much as I want Amber, more Lucian, and the Heiress. So, yeah. maybe there'll be another 3 books and we'll get all 6 of them. I don't know. But yeah, so that was the majority of my thoughts on A Quarter Wings Around by Sarah J. Maas. Tell me down in the comments below if you agree with me, disagree, what your thoughts on the book were. And, yeah, like if you want, subscribe if you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to suggest. Just suggest. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!